What's good, y'all? It's your boy Devin English Reacts to it. Now we're going to react to Death Note episodes 17 through 18. Now, the last time we watched Death Note, Anissa was this close telling everybody that she's the second Akira, and so was Light. So both of them got rid of the Shinigami, and both are having trouble, are in delusional. So we're gonna go. What we want to do is we're gonna take a look at 17 and 18, and then I'll discuss what happens at the end. So y'all know how we do. We're gonna skip the intro because we want to focus on the episode and the plots. And let's begin.
Outside of that, you're free to use the Death Note however you wish. That's the only condition.
You know I got my Chinese food with me, so chicken wings and fries. Yeah. What a way to enjoy entertainment.
Do as I say and you'll get what you want. In the end, it works out well for both of us. I suppose for someone in your position, you'd call this good business.
Mr. Yagami, are you alright? There's no reason for you to keep doing this to yourself.
It's been over a month since Kira started killing criminals again. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all the proof I need to be sure that my son isn't Kira. So then all that's left is for you to be sure. One way or another, when I get out of here, it will be with my son.
Wow, the chief can be pretty stubborn.
Why is his hair long?
Light, how are you feeling right now?
I'm okay. Ryuzaki, I know that in the time I've been in prison, no new criminals have died. However, that suggests to me that Kira must be someone who's intimately familiar with my situation. And
no, Light. The reason criminals have stopped dying is because you are Kira.
No, I'm not Kira. How many times do I have to say it?
If Light were Kira, he'd know that I was bluffing, so why is he getting so upset? He honestly seems clueless.
This is just cruel. I don't care if he is a suspect. Light still has a right to know that criminals are being killed again.
Are you okay? You seem tired. Is that supposed to be funny? How were you expecting me to look after being tied up and questioned for this many days? That's true. Please just let me go. I want to see Light. Please, Light, let me.
I'm not sure how much more of this the three of them can take. Ryuzaki, you have no reason to keep Light locked up anymore. Do the right thing and let him go. Then we can get the chief out too. Criminals are still being killed, even though Misa and Light haven't had access to any of that information. We know that much already, so what are you waiting for?
Not true. All we really know at this point is that Amane harbors an unnaturally strong devotion for Light Yagami.
Ryuzaki, I'm sorry, but with all due respect for where I'm standing, it's starting to look like you're only doing this because you don't want to admit that you were wrong about Light.
Yes, I figured you'd say that.
Okay, fine, but we do know that Kira killed Lind L. Taylor and those FBI agents, right? As Light said, if Kira could kill while under surveillance and without access to information, there would have been no need. If they didn't pose a threat to him, then why would he bother killing them? Kira doesn't kill without good reason. I've heard you say so yourself on more than one occasion.
Oh, I see. If he was able to kill under these circumstances, then he wouldn't have been concerned about those FBI agents in the first place.
It's already been 50 days. There's no point to this anymore. Ryuzaki, it's time to start looking for the real Kira.
Yes, I understand.
Mr. Yagami,
Yes, what is it?
would you be willing to come to headquarters just once? I'd like to discuss my thoughts with you, but it must be done in person. However, above all else, I need to talk to you as Light's father.
All right, I'll come.
So what, he told him that his son is Kira? Based on that expression on his face.
All this time I never
Stalker. I'm a detective with the NPA.
What? Oh, wait. I remember now. You told me I was being arrested for being the second Kira. You mean that was for real? No, you're a stalker. There's no way the police would blindfold me and tie me up all fetishy like that. Anyways, it's kind of weird that you have my hands and feet all tied up, even though you're planning to...
I'm making a mess, man.
Tell me, what's all this about?
He's your dad? Oh my god, I totally called your dad a stalker and said he was old and all kinds of other rude stuff. Pleased to meet you. My name's Misa Mani. I'm Light's girlfriend and I'd like to...
Chief. Let's go. Get in the car.
I was starting to think I'd never get out of there, but it feels good to finally be cleared.
No. I'm afraid you two are being taken to your execution. I wanted to be the one to escort you to the execution site. It was secretly built in an underground facility not far from here.
Execution? What the hell are you talking about?
El is convinced that you are Kira, Light, and that Misa Amane is the second Kira. He is convinced that the only way we can prevent the murders is to execute the two of you.
I don't understand. The killings have already stopped.
No, they never stopped.
They never... That's not what he told me, so he was lying?
El was trying to get a confession out of you, Light. He would have said anything. But at this point, that's not the problem. It's political now. UCL's suggestion that the killings would stop if you two were eliminated was unanimously accepted by top officials in the UN and the Japanese government. They want Kira to disappear. No trial, no publicity.
But that's completely insane! Please, Dad, I'm not Kira!
Right! What kind of a father are you anyway? This is your own son you're talking
El
about!
made this decision, not me. And his word is absolute. Over the years, he's tackled the most difficult cases, solving all of them. He's never been wrong.
You trust El more than you trust me, your own son?
El went so far as to stake his life on this theory. If the killings don't stop, then he too will be executed.
El said that? What can he be thinking? I know that given the material evidence, this might seem like the only logical solution. But he's making a mistake. How could El come to this conclusion? Something's not right here. It's just... It's not like El at all. The El I know would rely on hard evidence. He has to have the truth. Is he really planning to end it like this?
All right, we're almost there.
Where are we right now? Why did you bring us out to the middle of nowhere? What is this?
Wait a sec. I bet he brought us out here to let us go.
This will do. Looks like there's nobody around to see us out here. I decided it would be better for us if I brought you here instead of the execution site. Listen to me. I'm going to kill you here and then kill myself.
What? What are you talking about, Dad? You can't! That's crazy!
Say that! You kill your only son for El? If you want to die so bad, why don't you kill yourself? If you do this, you're no different than Kira.
I am nothing like Kira. I am bound by my responsibilities as a parent and as chief of the NPA.
Dad, come on! She's right! Think about it. If we die here, the truth will never be revealed.
Right.
Please, Dad, you have to let us escape.
Too late. Either way, you'll be executed. At least with this, I'll be the one to do it.
Please stop, Dad! I'm not Kira! If I die here, Kira wins! Can't you see?
This is stupid.
I'm going to die here with my son, but I have no reason to kill you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time before the police locate this car. Then they'll transport you to the original site and execute you there. Light, my son. From one murderer to another, I'll see you in hell.
He's crazy. He killed him? What?
right, my son. From one murderer to another, I'll see you in hell.
No, Dad!
I know he ain't killed his own son.
You used a blank.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness! Nigga, you trying to kill your own son!
Please forgive me, you two. I know that was hard on you, but it was the only way I could get you out of prison. You must understand.
Nah, nigga, I'm not. No.
Your innocence light. Were you watching, Ryuzaki? I did exactly as you said, and as you can see, I'm still alive.
Yes, it was a convincing performance. If Amane were the second Kira, who only needs to see a person's face to kill them, there is no doubt she would have killed you before you had the chance to fire your weapon. Also, if Light was in fact Kira, the Kira I know...
Man, that part was crazy, yo.
...father to save himself.
That was crazy.
Light in particular, I cannot rule out the possibility that he may have seen through our act at some point. However, as we agreed, I will end their confinement immediately. And as we discussed, Amane will remain under surveillance until Kira is apprehended. Although she insists the tapes we found were just occult videos, the physical evidence we have plus her confession suggest otherwise.
Hey, no fair! You still suspect me?
If I were you, I wouldn't complain. You get to go back to your normal life. If you're innocent, the surveillance shouldn't be a threat to you. Think of it as complimentary police protection.
Oh, I get it. Since I'm not the second Kira, it'll be kind of like having my very own private bodyguards.
As for your part in this agreement, Light, you and I will be together 24/7, and that's how we'll remain until we've brought Kira to justice.
Fine by me. We'll catch Kira. Together.
Yes.
This is crazy. Even though he doesn't have the possession of the Death Note book anymore, and he no longer sees the Shinigami, so therefore...
For me as it is for you.
So is this what you meant by being 24 hours a day with him? Looking at you, I never would have guessed. Are you on that side of the fence, Ryuzaki?
I told you I'm not doing this because I want to, okay?
But Light belongs to me. I don't want to share him with you. If you're with him 24/7, then how are we supposed to go on dates together?
Oh, you can still go on dates, but it'll have to be the three of us.
No way! Are you telling me we have to kiss in front of you and stuff?
I'm not telling you to do anything, but yes, I suppose I would be watching.
That's so gross. You really are a pervert, aren't you?
Light, please make Misa stop talking now.
Listen, Misa, that's enough. The police have already established that it was you who sent those tapes, so you're lucky to even be here right now. They have every right to put you in prison.
How could you even say that, Light? In case you forgot, I'm your girlfriend. Don't you trust your own soulmate?
What do you mean soulmate? You're the one who said you fell in love with me at first sight, Misa.
So why would you kiss me if you didn't have feelings for me? You take advantage of me.
Crazy girl cliche.
It happened in Aoyama on May 22nd, didn't it?
So what?
Why did you choose that day to go to Aoyama? And do you remember what you wore?
It's like I told you. I just happened to go there. I don't know why. I don't remember how I felt, and I don't even know what I was wearing. Anyway, since when do I need a reason to hang out in Aoyama, huh?
And somehow, when you came back from Aoyama, you knew that you were in love with some guy and that his name was Light.
Yes.
And yet you yourself have no idea how you came to know his name.
Yeah, so what?
Tell me, what if Light was Kira? How would it make you feel?
Huh? How would I feel if Light was Kira?
That's right.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. I mean, I've always been grateful to Kira for punishing the man who murdered my parents. So if I found out that Light was actually Kira, that would be like a bonus for me. If anything, it would make me love him even more. Even though it's like practically impossible to love him more than I already do.
It's Kira, though. You'd love him even more for that? I mean, wouldn't you be afraid? What if he tried to kill you?
You're talking about Light being Kira? He wouldn't be scary at all. I'm a supporter of Kira, so if I found out my Light was actually him, I think of how I could be helpful.
That's very generous of you, but I'm pretty sure Kira doesn't need your help. Well, Misa, based on what you just told me, I've made no mistake that you are the second Kira. But you've made it so painfully obvious that I don't really want to believe it.
Whatever. It's not believable because I'm not the second kid, okay?
Anyway, for the time being, you'll remain under surveillance. When you do go out, if needed, you'll be able to contact us using this room's extension. For the most part, your life will return to normal, but from now on, for all private and work-related affairs, Mr. Matsuda will be accompanying you as your new manager, Matsui. Your agency's been paid to keep quiet, and the police don't know. Don't blow his cover.
This old guy's my manager? Oh, you can't be serious.
Oh, come on, what's wrong with me, Misa? Is it the tie? Because I can get...
Would you cut it out with all this dating, kissing, and Misa talk already? This is the Kira investigation. Stop messing around!
Sorry about that, Aizawa.
No, it's all right. I just figured out what the problem is. Misa Amane, it's time for you to go to your room.
Why?
Off you go!
No! Let's go on a date, even if it is the three of us!
So, Light, are you serious about it?
No way. Like I told you earlier, it's completely one-sided.
Then could you at least pretend to be serious for the sake of the investigation? There are two things I know about Amani for sure. One, that she's involved in this. And two, that she's in love with you.
You want me to become intimate with her to gather information about the second Kira?
Yes, I think you could do it without arousing her suspicions, and Amani would definitely be a valuable source of information for us. Not to mention, this is the main reason why I agreed to release the two of you.
Ryuzaki, as much as I want to help you, and as important as the Kira case is to me, I can't manipulate a woman's feelings like that. Please try to understand. To me, exploiting another person's feelings for personal gain is unforgivable, and I won't allow myself to stoop that low.
There's something wrong with this picture. It's as if he's a different person now. Is it possible? If this is genuine, it not only implies that Amani was being controlled by Kira, but like Yagami too.
What's wrong, Ryuzaki?
Nothing. I suppose you're right after all. However, considering Misa will have a lot of contact with the public, it would be helpful if you could make sure she doesn't leak information.
By the way, do you think we could come up with some kind of alternative to this system of moving from hotel to hotel every few days?
Yes, in fact, I had that very same thought some time ago, and so I arranged for a facility to be built. Construction started right after my first meeting with Mr. Yagami and the others. It should be finished in a few days. Where is it? Here it is. 23 floors above ground and 2 below. Although it's impossible to see it from the outside, there are 2 helicopters hidden on the roof.
What? That's amazing.
Ideally, I want all of us to spend as much time here as possible. If the investigation team grows, we can accommodate up to 60 people. Misa shouldn't have any complaints, and she'll have her own floor.
This is truly impressive. But to go to such lengths... Hold on a second. Where did you find the finances to build this thing?
As you can see, it is my intention to solve this case no matter what it takes. That's how it is.
I'm sorry, but how is that an answer?
No, he's right. The mass killings are bad enough already, but personally, I will never forgive Kira for putting my dad and I through this. I want to solve this no matter what it takes.
If you're serious about that, you should try to get close to Misa and find out about the second...
I can't. That goes against my principles.
Right, you said that. What a shame.
Nothing. I'm just feeling really motivated right now, Chief. Ryuzaki, Chief Yagami, Light, let's get out of here and bring Kira to justice.
Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice you missed my name.
Well, this looks like all of us. Let's get started, shall we? We're all here to further the growth of the Yotsuba group by reducing competition. So the question is, who is going to die?
I'm not thrilled that we have to do this every single week. This may be irrelevant, but I have to wonder what prompted Kira to start killing business people in addition to the usual criminals and such.
Come on now, haven't you figured this out yet, Takahashi?
This is the most advantageous course of action for Kira.
Advantageous? He's basically started a killing service, Higuchi.
You have a lot to say considering how stupid you are. I hate to see you get killed because of it.
Despite the fact that we're all relatively young, all of us are now frontrunners to become Yotsuba's next CEO. Not to mention, our salaries largely eclipse those of the other employees in the company.
It's unlikely he would choose to back a particular company, no matter how you look at it. One of the people in this room has to be Kira.
So, back to business. Does anyone have a proposal? Who should we have Kira eliminate this week, gentlemen?
Human beings are truly disgusting creatures.
What can I say about episode 17? What really caught me off guard is when the father of Light was believing what Elle was telling him. I literally thought that he was gonna kill Light, and turns out he didn't. That right there kind of threw me off guard. So now they're gonna do whatever it takes to bring Kira to justice. I'm curious to see how they're gonna do that. So I guess we can check out episode 18. And this might not be my best reaction videos I've done, so my apologies. Skip the intro.
What now?
Well, looks like this system's gonna take some getting used to.
Fine. How's this, huh? Good morning.
What's wrong? Did you get hurt?
Yeah, oh, this? Kind of. I had a little fight with my wife, and it's just that my daughter's still young, and I'm hardly ever at home as it is, so...
Yes. It's probably best if you sleep at home.
Well, you're gonna be missing out. The rooms in this place are amazing. If I were you, I'd just move the whole family in here.
Yeah. That's easy for you to say as a bachelor. Where are they?
Oh, they're on a date. Last we checked, all of them were up in Misa's room.
Surveillance cameras, huh? Well, since we know Misa has some connection to the second Kira, I guess it does make sense. But for God's sake, Matsuda, would you stop with this Misa crap?
Yeah, sure.
Man, this has got to be the lamest date I've ever been on.
No, please, just pretend I'm not even here, okay? By the way...
No, that's the worst date I've ever seen you been on.
Actually, I'm not joking anyway, as long as you burn calories by using your brain.
So now you're calling me stupid? Fine then, I'll give you the piece of cake as long as you agree to leave me and Light alone.
Even if I leave you alone, I'm still gonna be watching on surveillance cameras, so it would make sense.
You pervert! Could you stop it with your creepy hobby?
You can call me whatever you like. Last chance for cake.
Okay then, I'll just close the curtains and turn off the lights.
We have infrared cameras in here as well.
What's wrong with you? I thought moving here was supposed to help us catch Kira. But since we've been here, you don't seem all that motivated to me.
Not motivated. You're right. Actually, I'm depressed.
Depressed? What for?
Well, truthfully, all this time I thought that you were Kira, and my entire case hinged on that fact. I guess I just can't get past the fact that my deduction was wrong. Although having said that, I'm still suspicious of you. That's why we're wearing these.
And we also know that Kira can control people's actions, which means it's highly likely that Kira was controlling your actions so that I would suspect you. If I assume both you and Misa were being controlled by him, then everything we've observed so far makes a lot more sense to me.
If that's what you think, Misa and I were both Kira during the time that we were being controlled, right?
Yes, I don't think I could have been wrong about that. The two of you are Kira. If what I'm thinking is correct, when your confinement began, you were Kira. I don't believe it's coincidence that as soon as you were imprisoned, all the killing was stopped. Until then, everything pointed to you being Kira. But after 2 weeks, criminals actually began dying again. Based on that evidence, I can only conclude Kira's power passes between people.
That's an interesting idea, but if it's true, it'll be nearly impossible for us to catch Kira.
Yes, that's why I'm overwhelmed. Even if we catch someone under his control, they'll likely lose their powers and any memory of their crimes. So in the end, pursuing them is futile.
But at this point, we have no way of knowing if that's the case. Cheer up, would you?
Cheer up? No, I'm sorry, I can't. It's probably better if I just stop trying so hard. By chasing Kira so desperately, we're just putting our lives at risk for nothing. Yes, it's just a waste of time.
Ryuzaki.
Huh? You know, that really hurt.
That's enough. You don't feel like doing anything. Just because your genius deduction was wrong and I'm not Kira?
Fine, perhaps I phrased it the wrong way. I meant it would be pointless for us to make a move, so we shouldn't even bother.
If we don't chase Kira, he'll never be caught. Is that what you want? If you were just gonna give up, then why did you involve all those innocent people? And more importantly, what was the point of putting Misa and me behind bars?
Exactly.
I understand. But still, whatever the reason...
Oh, hand-to-hand combat.
Never an eye, my friend. It's not my deduction that was wrong. The fact is, I can say that Light Yagami is Kira, and Misa Amane is the second Kira, but it won't be enough to solve the case, and that's why I'm a little depressed. Is that so unreasonable?
Yes. Yes, it is. Besides, you should hear yourself. It's as if you won't be satisfied unless I am Kira.
I won't be satisfied unless you're Kira. Well, there may be some truth to that. In fact, now that you mention it, I think I wanted you to be Kira. As I said before, an eye for an eye. I'm a lot stronger than I look, you know.
We've got to call the room and stop them!
Huh? Yes?
Ryuzaki, I've got good news! Misa is #1 in 18 Magazine's reader popularity poll!
Oh, I see.
And get this, she's gonna get a lead role in Nishinaka's next movie! What was that?
Matsuda's acting stupid again.
Well, that is his specialty.
I can hear you, you know.
That was funny.
Ryuzaki, I know you're not feeling up to it, but come over here for a second. Take a close look at this. It can't be coincidence. All of them were prominent Japanese businessmen, CEOs whose companies are leaders in respective industries. In just over a month, they all died of heart attacks. As expected, there's been a general downturn in the market, with the exception of Yotsuba. In other words, their deaths have worked in Yotsuba's favor. Looking back, there have been 13 similar deaths in the past 3 months. Your thoughts? Based on this, I can only conclude that Kira is supporting Yotsuba.
It could be. But if what you're saying is true, we can assume that punishing criminals is not this Kira's real intent.
Right. Punishing Catching criminals is a diversion for him. It obscures the fact that he's actually killing people for the benefit of his company. Are you feeling a bit more motivated now?
It's funny. This is starting to feel too easy. Look at all we've done and no one suspects a thing.
Our stock continues to increase, but we've kept it below the radar.
Indeed. Everything appears to be proceeding according to plan.
That's true. However, there is one thing that has me concerned. Those 3 we had killed last week. Why did all of them die of heart attacks? I thought we agreed one would be accidental.
You're quite right. We did. The problem was that we named a specific location in Japan. You see, he wasn't even here when he died. I hear he and his mistress were in Italy at the time. Makes sense. If our request is physically impossible, then
Kira will kill that person using his default method, a heart attack.
it's just like I was saying last week. If you want it to look believable, request accidental death or disease, and Kira will always find the quickest way to make it happen.
Anyway, given Kira's history, the police are probably still focused on the dying criminals. Quite frankly, if someone was able to trace the deaths of these people back to us, then he'd have to be a god. Besides, we've taken precautions.
Oh. Hey, Chief! Oh, you too, Mogi. I've got some great news. This is amazing. I'm not even sure how you figured it out, but Light has a theory that Kira is somehow involved with the Yotsuba group. Can you believe it?
Yotsuba.
Yes.
That's probably it. Good work.
Huh?
We just spoke with the director. It seems Kira has offered bribes to a number of politicians.
Kira made an offer. As long as the NPA agrees not to pursue him anymore, he won't lay a hand on any politicians.
So that's that. The police caved in to him.
Huh?
Mogi and I have already made up our minds on this. Aizawa, Matsuda, if you wish to continue working this case, you'll have to hand in your letter of resignation to the NPA, just as Mogi and I are going to do. Like it or not, you cannot pursue Kira as a member of the police force anymore.
Hold on a second, Chief.
They made it quite clear. If you continue to work with L, you'll be fired. That's all there is to it.
So then, Chief, you're gonna...
In a few hours, I'm no longer going to be your chief. However, we all have our own lives, so think it over carefully.
That's true, Chief. Especially if you've got a family to support.
If you want my opinion, you'd be better off as police officers. I was alone when I started this case, and although I'm grateful to all of you for staying with me as long as you have, I know that I can do this by myself. I'll be sure to visit you at the department and bring you Kira's head as a reward for all that you've sacrificed.
Ryuzaki, as long as I'm alive, you won't be working alone. You have my word on that.
That's right. I'll have Light working with me until I catch Kira, so I won't be alone after all. But as I said, I think the rest of you should remain as police officers.
But when you first contacted us, you said that you would need the help of the police in order to solve this case.
That's because the police as an organization were still hoping to arrest Kira. They weren't bowing to him. Besides, with all due respect, there's a big difference between the help of 2 or 3 civilians and the police as an organization. As you said, the police have made their position clear. They don't want to catch Kira, so let's just leave it at that.
Well, I suppose what you're saying makes sense. If we're not police officers anymore, we won't be of much use to you. However, we're all personally involved in this. All of us have risked our lives to catch Kira. Doesn't that give us the right to decide whether we stay here or return to the police force?
Good point. And by all means, please make your decision.
But Chief, wait. If you quit your job with the police force, you'll be unemployed. Even if we do catch Kira, what are you gonna do after that?
After that? I hadn't really thought of it, but I suppose after we catch Kira, I'll have to dust off my resume.
Count me in! I'm gonna quit the police and chase Kira too, Chief! And I still have my job as Misa's manager. Besides, if I stayed on as a police officer, I feel like a total loser.
Think before you open your mouth, Matsuda.
any way I could still keep my job and help you in my spare time?
There isn't. If you remain a police officer, then please don't come back here.
Like, you know I won't leak any information.
I won't be sharing any of our information. You're free to pursue Kira on your own if you want to. But I don't think it's fair to your families to burden them by giving up your livelihood just to continue this. I can't see how that's a good idea.
It's as Ryuzaki says. No one here will blame you for quitting.
Yeah, right. We all understand why you've got to do this.
But the chief has a family too.
Our situations are completely different.
Damn it. Leave now after all we've been through. I said I was prepared to die if that's what it took to catch him, and I meant it. What kind of friend would I be to Ukita if I could now? I became a detective so I could catch the bad guys, not run away!
Ryuzaki, early on in the investigation, you specifically told me that if a task force member were to lose their job under any circumstances, I should make preparations to ensure that their family's financial future was secure. If you recall, a trust was set aside for that very purpose. I'm a little curious as to why you're withholding this information.
This is not the time or place, Watari.
I'm sorry.
No way! So all this time we had nothing to worry about? I can't believe you did that! There you go, Aizawa! Isn't that great news? Huh?
Ryuzaki, I assume that was some kind of test to determine how committed I was to this task force.
It's not like that, Aizawa. Ryuzaki's just not the type to say things directly. You should know that by now.
Yeah, that's right.
No. I was testing you. I wanted to see which one you would choose.
Ryuzaki.
Fine then. If I wasn't sure before, I am now.
But Aizawa...
Let's face it, I wasn't able to decide right away like you guys. I was leaning towards going back to the police.
Come on, Aizawa. Don't be so stubborn.
No, I quit. Now I know this for sure. I've always hated Ryuzaki. I hate him and his way of doing things.
That's too bad, because I like you, Aizawa.
I also hate the way you've always got to have the last word. You insult me, now you say something like that? That's it. I'm out of here.
Thank you for everything.
I just found another one. A general manager of a bank, Yotsuba's biggest competitor. On September 7th, he slipped and fell on the front steps of his house and died. Instantly.
September the 7th was a Friday, wasn't it? After going over this again, I noticed something. All the deaths which are beneficial to Yotsuba are concentrated around the weekends.
Huh? On the weekends?
With the first few victims, the time of death appears to have been random. More recently, they all take place between Friday night and Saturday afternoon.
I'm amazed that you even noticed that, Chief.
Matsuda, I thought I told you to stop calling me Chief.
I'm sorry, but you'll always be the Chief to me. This is a really important clue, Dad. Nice work.
Well, you know, I can't let myself fall behind you and Ryuzaki. After all, the last thing I want is to be dead weight.
Dead weight?
Is Kira someone from Yotsuba? Or is Kira simply using Yotsuba? I haven't figured that out yet, but we'll proceed under the assumption that this is Kira's doing. We will focus on Yotsuba.
This is all of the Yotsuba Group's employees. Here.
Thank you very much.
That's 300,000 people. How did you put this together so quickly? That's amazing, Mogi.
He's been incredibly efficient from the start.
Ryuzaki, please tell me, is there anything I can do to help with the investigation, besides the manager thing?
So you really want to be useful?
Yes!
Then could you get me another cup of coffee?
Uh-huh.
And for our guests over there as well.
Uh-huh. Who are they? Hold on a sec, who let them in?
Those two are the newest members of the task force.
The name's Iber. I'm a con man. How's it going?
I'm Weddy, and I'm a thief by trade.
A con man and a thief.
That's right. Iber is a lifelong con man. His unparalleled social skills allow him to befriend and gain the trust of any target. We'll use him for infiltration. As for Weddy, she's a thief who specializes in cracking high-end security systems. As proof of that, she was able to enter the building without setting off a single alarm.
You expect us to work with criminals?
Yes, that is correct. However, these two have never once been caught, so it's unlikely they'll be killed by Kira. Think of them as professionals of the underworld.
I understand. To investigate Yotsuba, we're gonna need the help of people like this. Let's all do our part and make this happen, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh? Daddy? Huh? Daddy!
Yumi. Eriko.
What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at work right now? You need to tell me if you're planning to be home for dinner. I just went shopping and I only bought for me and Yumi.
You can eat my dinner and I'll have dessert instead.
Sorry. It's sort of a last-minute decision, but they just gave me some time off.
Huh? Is the time off a vacation, Daddy?
Yeah, that's right.
Yippee!
From now on, I can have a break every single week. Now I can go with you to the park. Maybe we can go to the zoo together. Or the amusement park.
What's wrong, Dad? Mommy, why is Daddy crying?
I kind of feel bad for him though, because missing his family, working with this creep named L, aka Ryugasaki. You know. So now they're pretty much hiring 2 new people to capture Kira. Cause I don't know how many episodes you have to do just to capture the sucker, but yeah. What are my overall thoughts on 2 episodes? In my honest opinion, guys, the first part of the 17th episode was a bit of a shocker, which I thought Light's father was really going to kill him by by L's orders. But the rest of the episode just came out boring to me. This might be my worst reaction videos I've done in a long time. I'm not fully energized by doing reaction videos because 1, it's cold in my room. 2, it's cold outside. And 3, I just don't have enough energy for me to do reactions. So my apologies if I haven't give y'all my best reactions. So y'all deserve better than that. If y'all enjoyed this video, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram, WHUX, and I'll see you later.